I love nature documentaries. They're just so cool. You see so many animals, plants, and places that you'll never be able to go to. But maybe you've seen this too. The narrators all kind of look similar. You know what I mean? No? Okay. I'm just gonna say it. Why is everyone white? It's weird that media only shows white people as nature's advocates. Why are people of color always in need and exotic? Or why are indigenous people always striking and mysterious? Environmental media should represent everyone in the environment, right? So why are white people the face of it? Well, colonialism. White people exploring exploring the world. Traveling to far ends of the planet, stealing, raping, and murdering along the way. So how did the Europeans get away with all of this? Propaganda. It showed the people back home that they were spreading civilization. They called themselves white saviors, because they were saving the foreign natives from barbarism, paganism, and brutality. Except they weren't. But who were they supposedly saving? The noble savages. Naturally resourceful indigenous people who could be good and smart if only they had some guidance from civilized white people. In reality, they were seen as poor, unintelligent people to take advantage of. But it's easier to exploit people who you call racially inferior. White saviorism and colonialism were both based on a foundation of lies, suffering, and exploitation. And they still exist today. White people are still exploiting BIPOC for their own benefit. It corrupts the minds of BIPOC and white people, even in environmental media. But it's subtle. We see it in the way that indigenous communities are presented and perceived. We see it in media companies, where white people control who's seen and who isn't. We see it in our documentaries, narrated exclusively by Attenborough types. More often than not, environmental media is made by white people for white people. They show how they see BIPOC, instead of showing them who we really are. Modern colonialism is why environmentalism is a white person's game. BIPOC aren't given the same opportunities to fight for our planet. So how does environmental media need to change? 1. Acknowledge their racist history. National Geographic printed articles about Indigenous Australians, describing them as savages and ranking lowest in intelligence of all human beings. It's appalling and disgusting, and is the most obvious example of racism in their magazine. But they acknowledged it and apologized for it. It doesn't excuse all of the other racist content they've published, but it shows they're on the right path. Now we can expect them to do their jobs well. And if they don't, we hold them accountable. But more on that later. 2. Stop changing the narrative. For centuries, white people twisted and manipulated stories for their own benefit. Whether it was for drama or entertainment or whatever. It's wrong and needs to stop. Let BIPOC tell their stories instead of a white stranger. 3. Stop relying on stereotypes and cliches. They need to stop using them to make stories exciting. If a story relies on stereotypes to make it interesting, it's a bad story. These stories leave a terrible impact on the BIPOC community. They're dumb and misrepresent most people in the world. 4. Recognize your own privilege. Know it and use it to support the BIPOC community. Just be inclusive. Hold people accountable if they say or do something stupid, including yourself. We have a long way to go before history's behind us. The effects of colonialism are still felt today. The world needs BIPOC environmentalists. Justice for the environment is justice for all people.